Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm going to talk to you about some brands that I absolutely love, but some of the products I am not a very big fan of. So yeah, I've done a video very similar to this, like the opposite version basically. So like products that I absolutely love from some of the brands that I'm not a very big fan of. I literally just filmed that video 5 minutes ago, but it's already up a week or two before this video is gonna go up. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. But now we're gonna talk about some brands that I absolutely love. Like when I tell you the names of the brands, you'll be like, of course you love this brand, you talk about it so much. So yeah, none of these are gonna come like as a surprise to you, I'm pretty damn sure, except for maybe like one or two. But like apart from that, like the ones I'm gonna start with, you're gonna be like, yes, of course, like that wasn't a surprise at all. So yeah, let's dive right into it and let's talk about these brands and the products. So the first brand that I have to talk about is one that this I think has to be my favorite brand of the past 2 years, 1.5 years, I'm not really sure, but that is Minimalist. So Minimalist launched I think sometime in 2020, I would say mid 2020, and ever since then they've been coming out with so many amazing products. Of course there was a little bit of controversy in the beginning because the packaging was kind of similar to The Ordinary, so everyone was like, oh, they're copying The Ordinary, etc. But I think the more that they came out with new products, they launched hair care, they've now launched a bunch of different moisturizers and stuff as well very recently, which by the way, let me tell you, I'm very interested in trying them out. But yeah, now I feel like people have kind of gotten over it, and now they've realized that, you know what, Minimalist is not really copying anyone. They're kind of curating their own lineup, you know, on their own without definitely I think taking inspiration from other brands, but doesn't really mean that they're copying it, like blatantly copying it. But that being said, there was one product from them that I was very excited about that did not end up working that great for me, to the point where I actually decluttered it in the process of trying and testing it out, because I was like, I cannot do this. And that is the Minimalist Oat Moisturizer. So when this product launched, it was like the first moisturizer kind of product that Minimalist had come out with. So I was very excited. Also the fact that it's fragrance free and it was at an affordable price point. Like of course there are other fragrance free moisturizers that are still there in the market, but those are a little bit more, I would say, like in the above 500 rupee wala section, and this was something that was under 500, around 300-350 rupees. So yeah, that's why I was really excited, and I was really hoping that this would work for me. But it did not end up working out for me. I thought that the consistency was really weird, did not like blend really well into the skin, and I also felt like this was causing some breakouts for me. I don't know what specific ingredient that was, but I was definitely experiencing some like clogging, and it was definitely breaking me out. So yeah, this particular product specifically was a no-no for me. But then I have also seen that other people have, you know, had a better experience with it. So if you have more combination dry skin, it might work well for you. But for me personally, the Oat Moisturizer was an absolute no-no. Moving on, next, another brand that I talk so much about, specifically their bath and body care range, and that is Plum. I love Plum to the moon and back. I'm not going to be ashamed about that. I absolutely love them. And there is a product from them that I also do not like at all. Like just the whole range, like they have different ranges, right? They have the green tea range, they have the grapeseed and sea buckthorn range, they have the chamomile range, they have so many different ranges, and every range has this, you know, category of product, but none of them have ever worked out for me, and I've used and tried them all. Like back in the day, 3-4 years ago, I've literally tried out every single face wash that they carry, and none of the face washes has ever worked out for me. The consistency and the way it applies on the skin, it's just so weird. My skin definitely feels like I don't know, scratchy in a sense, does not feel like nice and cleansed, over stripped for sure. And yeah, overall my experience using their face washes has never ever been that great. So yeah, for that reason, Plum face washes for me is just like, there are so many better face washes out there in the market that are more affordable, some that may be just a little bit more expensive, but like most of them are all cheaper than Plum. I feel like when I say cheaper, I mean more affordable. and are still so much better. So I'm like, why do you want to spend more money and get something that's even worse? Like, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, Plum face washes, definitely an absolute no-no. Moving on, next is a brand that again is one of my favorites. It's gonna come as no surprise to you, and the product that I also tried out is something that when I've tried out similar products from other brands, it's always worked out for me, and I don't know why this specific product did not work out for me. I literally have never been able to figure that out. So the brand I'm talking about is the Earth Rhythm. Does that come as a surprise to you? I'm sure it doesn't. If you regularly watch my videos, you would know how much I love Earth Rhythm, their moisturizers, a lot of their serums. What else do I love from Earth Rhythm? Yeah, I think that's about it. The serums I feel like definitely steal the show, and the moisturizers are so underrated, but like I love so much. Yeah, love Earth Rhythm, love their products, but there is a specific serum that I tried out from them that just did not work out for me. Like, there aren't really many products that give me like a reaction. I would say 99.9% products that I've tried out always work for me, and at least they don't cause a reaction. Like, I might not have the best experience with them, but they never cause like a reaction. But the 10% niacinamide serum from the Earth Rhythm was just weird. Like, it definitely burned kind of on my skin, caused a little bit of a reaction of sorts, and my skin, like, with just one use I could tell that something was off. If it was like an AHA BHA, I might have been like, अच्छा ठीक है, मैंने गलती से over exfoliate कर लिया होगा. But yeah, niacinamide, how can it ever, like, you know, not work for you? I don't understand. And every single niacinamide product that I've ever tried out, like, always works for me. There isn't any other niacinamide product that I've used that hasn't worked out for me. So this particular one just gave me a weird reaction, and I kind of got scared and then stopped using it. And then I was like, acha theek hai, let me give this to my mom and she can start using it. And she did not notice any, you know, sort of problem on her skin, so she just continued using it, and we used it up like that. But yeah, the 10% niacinamide by Earth Rhythm, just again, it was weird as to what happened with that product, and I could never figure out why it did not work for me. But yeah, that was that. Just really peculiar experience. But yeah, everything else from Earth Rhythm I absolutely freakingly love. Moving on, next, this brand might come as a surprise to you, maybe not. So I'll explain why I'm talking about this brand in like my favorite brands wala video. That is Requeel. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. That's how I've seen most people pronounce it. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm very sorry. But Requeel is a brand that I have fallen in love with, I would say, more recently. Like, specifically after trying out their sunscreens, I think I'm really impressed with this brand, and it's one that I want to continue to try out more from. The serums I'm also very interested in, and I'll probably try out at some point. But back in the day, like, the first product I've ever tried out from Requeel was their vitamin C toner, and this was one of the first vitamin C toners that I tried out, and probably the last as well. And this was the time where, like, every single brand and every single product, like, people were just coming out with different versions of like vitamin C products. So that kind of annoyed me but intrigued me at the same time. Initially I was intrigued, which is why I tried it out. I bought it and I tried it out, and I did not notice much of like anything specific, like you know, happening to my skin. Did not notice any significant improvements, and that's when I later on understood that, you know what, they're just labeling and like creating products just because of the vitamin C hype, and a vitamin C toner is not really going to be that helpful either which ways. So this category and the specific product, I'm just totally not up for anymore, and I just wish that Requeel would make more you know, thought out, like well thought out products, like their sunscreens, like their serums, instead of just coming out with like products basis of marketing. So yeah, even though I love the brand, but this specific product was just not it for me. Moving on, next we're gonna throw back and talk about like one of the OG skincare brands that I ever started using like what, 6-7 years ago now. It's been such a long time. Like, I started using skincare towards the end of 2015 and we're now in 2022, so it's like what, 6 to not 7, but like, yeah, a little bit over 6 years now. And that is Himalaya. Himalaya was the first brand that I ever started using. In fact, I actually like got into skincare towards the end of 2015, but I've been using Himalaya since probably 2011, 2012, like when I was a teenager in school. I use the Himalaya Purifying Neem face washes, which I really love, and I still till date love Himalaya face washes. The Oil Clear Lemon face wash, the Blueberry face wash. Himalaya face washes to me are, you know, affordable, love the consistency, love how they clean the skin. Also really like the fact that they don't overstrip. And again, I feel like I need to say how affordable they are 3 times, because that does matter a lot to me as well, because face wash is one thing I don't want to really spend a lot of money on, because if you can get affordable face washes, then like why spend more money? So yeah, for that reason Himalaya has to be one of my favorite brands, like again for the nostalgia, but also for the fact that I still have products from that brand that I really love. But that being said, there are also a lot of products that I don't love as much from Himalaya. Like, I feel they're very old school, and like now that we're coming up with so many like more interesting things like serums, like you know, the whole active ingredients wala train, like Himalaya I'm pretty sure does not have any products that have like active ingredients in them. So Himalaya has definitely like not kept up with time in that particular sense. But keeping all of that aside, there are products from them that I'm just like, back in the day when I did use them, I was like, yeah, these are good. But now that over the past 5 to 6 years I've tried out so much better, Himalaya moisturizers for me are just like, I mean, seriously, what? Like, yeah, when we used them back in the day, they were really good. We assumed that they were, because there wasn't really great skincare back then, if we are being very honest with ourselves. Yeah, like skincare back in the day was very simple, basic. We didn't really have high standards, so that's why Himalaya moisturizers back in the day seemed pretty good. But now we have so much better that is out there in the market, that Himalaya moisturizers to me, they're just in the bottom of my list when it comes to like, if I had to rank all the moisturizers that I've used ever and I had to tell you where Himalaya moisturizers would stand, they would be more towards the bottom. So yeah, for that reason I had to mention it in this video, and let you guys know that in case you were considering it, especially if you're like getting into skincare, I feel like Himalaya is one of the brands that might appeal to you. So I want to let you know that there's definitely better out there. You can go towards minimalist, similar price point, but definitely much better in terms of quality as well. So yeah, that was it for the video. I don't want to like drag it a lot more, because yeah, the video is like a decent you know, duration as of now, so we're not gonna make it any further longer. I really hope that you enjoyed watching, and like I mentioned in my last video as well, if you want to see more videos like these, maybe like a part 2, part 3, maybe I can do like updated versions of these videos every 6 months or maybe every year even. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye.